Ylan?
Well, Kelly, in our exclusive CNBC survey with Change Research across 6 battleground states, racism was one of the top 3 issues that voters say that they care about heading into the presidential election. It ranked behind the economy and health care, but interestingly, it ranked above the coronavirus. 38% of voters said they see racism as a problem. Only 30% of voters say that they are worried about the virus. Now, there is a political divide over this issue. Racism is the most important problem for Democrats. Republicans see it as actually the least most important problem. But the real dynamic to watch here is the sentiment among certain subgroups. Black voters say racism is a priority as expected, but also college-educated women and young people. They pointed to racism as a problem more frequently in our survey than any other issue. So that could create some challenges for President Trump come November, Kelly, especially since the survey also shows that most voters don't approve of the way that he's handled the recent episodes of police violence and discrimination. Back over to you.
All right, Ylan, thank you very much. For more on the path forward for the country, I'm now joined by Representative Stephen Horsford from Nevada. Congressman, welcome.
Thank you, Kelly. Good to be on.
What do you think about the increasing kind of days off and marking of Juneteenth across the country?
Well, I join with my colleague, Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee, and others in calling for a federal holiday recognizing Juneteenth. This is something that we should have done a long time ago. This is a solemn day for many because we still have not lived up to the ideals of what it really means to be free in this country based on the systemic racism that exists, not just among our police departments, but in other systems like education, healthcare, the workforce, and so many other areas.
And you are one of the sponsors, or you introduced the Justice in Policing Act. Where are we in that process on this legislation right now?
Well, that measure, the Justice in Policing Act, which has been named after George Floyd, has actually passed the House Judiciary Committee, and it is scheduled to come up for a vote by the full House of Representatives next Thursday, is my understanding. And so before the end of June, that legislation will move. It's a very important bill that bans chokeholds, it bans no-knock warrants as it pertains to drug charges. It would end qualified immunity. It would really change the way we handle policing in this country. I'm proud to be a sponsor of the bill, and I look forward to its passage in the House and urge my colleagues in the Senate to work with us on this legislation in this important time of our country.
Yeah, of course, one of the other big issues right now is unemployment. I want to pivot to the economy, especially in your state. Nevada has the highest unemployment rate right now at about 28%. And this week, Fed Chair Jerome Powell said Nevada is ground zero in explaining why more federal stimulus is needed. Here's exactly what the chair said.
There's going to be a lot of people going back to work in coming months. But there are going to be a lot of people who can't because, you know, if they work in Nevada, for example, as we were just discussing, in the travel and entertainment industry, these aren't going to be jobs. So it's going to be a while. I think some form of support for those people going forward, in my view, is likely to be appropriate.
What do you think that support, what form could that support take, Congressman?
Well, I completely agree with the Fed chairman, and I would call on my Senate colleagues again to join with the House of Representatives and pass the HEROES Act, which provides not just the relief to state and local government, which is especially important in a state like Nevada with high unemployment, and to our local counties and cities that are also on the front lines, but it would also provide targeted relief, additional unemployment insurance, COBRA healthcare payments, direct cash payments to individuals who still are struggling to get back to work, as well as more relief to small businesses. The chairman is actually very right, and there are more than 500,000 Nevadans, nearly a 30% unemployment rate. It's the highest of any other state in the country related to unemployment. And that doesn't include the full numbers of those that were related to the gig economy or independent contractors who are still working to get their benefits through unemployment.
Yeah, and I was going to ask if there's more that the state could do as